Let me go out to CNN's Isabel Rosales. She is in Tampa for us, where we're seeing more rescues. Isabel, what can you tell us?
Jim, yes, you're looking at a very, very active search and rescue operation. That is a SHERP, that vehicle you're looking at right there, able to go into the deep flood waters that they're experiencing right now at the University Mall area. This is a strange scene for this area. This sort of flooding just does not happen here. Behind that vehicle is actually a sign of the Great American Assisted Living Facility, and that is where deputies have just rescued 135 members. Let's move this camera to the right here, and you're going to see them right here. Many of them elderly, many of them need to use wheelchairs or walkers. And what they're doing right now is they've been rescued out of those floodwaters by Hillsborough County deputies and Hillsborough County Fire Rescue. And what's going to happen is they're going to be loaded into a school bus like we saw just moments ago, the bus full to the brim with these people for the assisted living facility, and they're going to take them away to a shelter or somewhere that they can get the appropriate attention, food, water, shelter, medical attention, most importantly. I spoke with somebody here named Gary who was inside of that assisted living facility, and he told me the water came suddenly and up to his knees, that it was scary. The sheriff here, Chad Chronister, this was actually his district when he was a rookie. And he tells us that he has never seen anything like this in terms of flooding for the University Mall area. And this is not the end of it. They have set up a command post, Jim, because, yes, they got all of these people out, but there's other people stuck in homes and in an apartment complex, I'm told by HCSO. So they're going to be busy going door to door here and getting people who are trapped by these floodwaters out.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it all on their faces, just looks of exhaustion and desperation. I can't imagine what they're going through. I don't want to put you on the spot, Isabel, but if any of them want to talk to you, I mean, feel free to see how they're doing.
I actually do, Jim. I do. I have Gary over here, and I just wasn't sure how that would work out with the camera since we're having some audio issues.
Yeah. But, we'll give it a shot.
Gary, can you speak right now? Is that okay? This is Gary. Gary, can you tell me again what happened? How did the water come suddenly?
What happened was the water just came in. They had the doors blocked, but it still came in. There's nothing they can do about it. We have regular people, but we had other facilities from Bradenton come over here. Yeah. And that's why there's so many people in there.
Yeah, and the water came suddenly and unexpectedly?
Slowly, real slowly. Kept going up higher and higher and higher.
At what point did you know that 911 had to be called?
About midnight or so, something like that. Yeah.
From midnight, that call was made, and then you guys have been waiting for conditions to be okay. We know that.
I don't know who made the call.
Who made the call, right? We know that 911 operations was suspended shortly after 11 because of the high wind speeds, how unsafe conditions were for deputies to be out and about. So right before daylight is when they started these operations. Wow. How are people? How are people after this situation, Gary?
Most of them are cold because they've been in water all night.
Oh, my God.
Wading through the water?
Just sitting late. We had extra beds brought in for the other facility, and there's nothing we could do. The water kept going up. You know,
so people are just sitting in the water for overnight?
Most of it, yeah.
I'm so sorry. I heard just someone say all night.
Goodness.
And I did see when somebody was loaded up into the school bus, somebody said, "Thank God for first responders. Thank you for this." Oh. What is the feeling, the sentiment that you guys had once you saw HCSO roll on in?
Oh, personally, I wasn't surprised, but how many people we had here to help everybody, I'm totally shocked. I'm very appreciative. And, I just, because I'm able to walk.
Yeah, and so many cannot. I see them in wheelchairs.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Gary, thank you so much. and I see your hat, a Marine, a veteran. Thank you so much for your service, sir. And I hope that you get some food, you get him warmth, and you guys get the medical attention you need. Thank you so much, sir.
Can I take his jacket?
Yeah, we'll get you a jacket, sir. Thank you.
Oh,
Jim,
goodness.
I'll toss this back to you.
Yeah, Isabel, thank you so much. And I'm sure they're cold if they've been sitting in the. Did I hear that correctly, Isabel? That these residents were in this facility and some of them were sitting in the water or standing in the water in the middle of the night?
Correct. And
Oh my
ma'am,
God.
would you be willing to talk to us? Would you be willing? He said that you guys were in the water for hours cold. Was that the case?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I remember when it started to come through, and it was only about that deep, and it was coming from under the air conditioning unit. Like,
The water was coming from under the air conditioning unit.
yeah, I guess outside was getting full, and I think there's a retention pond or something behind us.
Yeah, and
And yeah, and it just filled up and started coming right in the building. The back door, because I lived all the way down the end of hallway 1, and we were the absolute last room, and
Scary, I'm sure.
it was because you could literally hear that thing coming around the corner, and it just sounded like it was going to take the building with it, you know, when the winds came. So.
Well, I'm so sorry for what you're going through. What's
Okay.
your name, ma'am?
Patricia,
Patricia. I'm so sorry, Patricia. I can see.
thank you guys. You guys came out.
Yeah.
Really cared enough about it.
Of course, and to the first responders getting you guys the help that you need. Thank you so much, Patricia. Please be safe. Jim, back to you.
Isabel, give those folks a hug for us. And I hate to ask something that maybe you can't answer, Isabel, and forgive me for asking it, but were these folks supposed to evacuate? I mean, that's the thing that I just have a question about, is whether they should have even been left in this facility overnight with the water coming up. Forgive me for asking something.
Yeah.
If you can't answer it, that's okay. We can find out. But
No problem. So my understanding, Jim, this is not an area that would normally flood to this level. We know that there's been mandatory evacuation of like zones A and B throughout Hillsborough and County and Tampa proper. This is not it. And of course, once I get in touch with the sheriff here, Chad Chronister, I'll ask him more about it. But
Sure.
this seems to be a situation where everyone was listening to the advice of, forecasters and authority figures, and then this just came unexpectedly. This incredible, stunning amount of floodwaters.
I want to introduce to you two ladies here who told me they'd be willing to talk us through what happened, what they experienced. This is Teresa, she's a resident, and this is Kayla, who actually works at that assisted living facility. Teresa, can you bring me back to what happened when the floodwaters rushed in?
Well, I was in bed, obviously, and I didn't realize it was flooded at first. But then I heard it crash, and I had a refrigerator in there and a microwave on top of it. It just blew out. It's on the floor, floating. I mean, it was coming up in my bed, to the edge of my bed. I mean, it got on the, it was just terrible. And
That sounds terrifying.
The water was so cold, you know? Oh, man, it's just, and I'm missing a shoe, my brace shoe, and I don't know where it is, my rim floating around somewhere. But
Yeah, I can see you're, tearing up a bit thinking about those moments. I'm so sorry you went.
scary, you know? And more people moved around in the TV room, but plus it out the other side.
And how long did you guys wait in those floodwaters?
It was pretty good while. We just got out maybe a couple hours ago. We were in 3-4 feet of water. I got woken up about 2 a.m. to the building is starting to flood. So I had to get up, I had to react, had to get dressed, and basically make sure that all the residents were okay, including residents that were from Bradenton, because they got transported yesterday to our facility.
Is there a reason why?
Because they thought that they were told to evacuate.
So what you actually had more residents evacuate to your facility because they thought that they'd be safe there.
Yes, Manatee County told them to evacuate, and then that's when to us, yes. So Bradenton was mainly in the kind of the middle and some rooms, as much as we could really do.
And I did confirm with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, this is not an evacuation zone. So this is something that came sudden and unexpected. This is not the sort of flooding you would anticipate seeing here in the University Mall area. Can you talk real quickly, Kayla, about the medical complications of these residents?
We had to, there was a guy from Bradenton, he was running low on oxygen, so we had to get him an oxygen tank because he had a portable oxygen. We got that taken care of, and we also had other oxygen tanks on hand as well, because that's also important for them to breathe and stay alive. And then we still had to pass out medications while we were in the building because their medication is important.
Right. So a situation, you're not dealing with regular, people just in any apartment complex,
No,
which,
no.
by the way, they're doing rescues right now at an apartment complex and nearby homes. These are people dealing with mobility issues, medication,
yes. Like
oxygen.
Teresa, she's in a wheelchair, so she can't mobilize herself. She can stand up, but she can transfer and everything, but she can't physically get out of here and walk.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult for her and some other residents